Hi, Asia.
Okay.
You often say you can't do what you do without your teammates. How much
Recording
does
in
Jackie
progress.
impact nights like this for you?
Jack impacts for me in a huge, huge way, for this team in a huge, huge way. Just her ability to be a three-level scorer. That's not easy. And then on top of that, defend the opposing team's best player. So when you have a guard and when all your guards are in line in that situation, in that mindset, it looks great and it feels good. So I'm so appreciative that Jackie is being who she is. I think that's what makes me the proud big sister, is that like she's it's just unwavering. Like she's just gonna always be consistent in what she does. And I see what she does in the behind the scenes when the lights aren't on. But to be able to show up every single night, that's the sign of a superstar. And we got our hands on one for sure. And I'm just so glad that she's doing it her way. Every single night it just looks different, but she's just doing it her way.
Asia, there's been different bench players at different times, but Dana,
Mm,
she's either putting up big numbers or she's coming up with timely plays.
yes.
Tonight, Connecticut's hanging around. She crosses Marina up and just pulls up. And I thought that you're having a big night, Jackie's having a big night, but that play
Yeah.
seemed to be a bit of a dagger. Put you guys back, are you ladies up by 10?
Yeah, I mean it's D. It's what we ask her to do for all this season, is understanding that, making her understand that we trust her. We trust her on both sides of the basketball, but we also love her pace that she plays with, her energy that she plays with, because we feed off that. And so when I see her doing those things, it comes by no surprise, because in practice I see it every single day. But that's D. Like those are the little things that she does that may not always show up on the stat sheet, but she's definitely just knows the times of when she can really just be herself. And I'm so glad that she's able to just be her true self, because that's how you get the best out of everyone. And yeah, she may have nights that it may not be going her way, but she's still trying to show up for us. And so when I see her do these things, I'm always just telling her, stay right there, just stay solid. That's all we need. And so for her to come out and have the showing that she did, I love the way that she's playing right now for us.
Asia, I did actually just asked Becky the same thing, but being a leader of this group, how do you feel like this group has grown in the ability to take a punch from the start of the year to now?
Um, Knowing how to punch back. I think in the start of the year we were kind of on our heels, because we I mean, the Aces have always had this swagger of just like, nah, we here. And I feel like we had that swagger too long, too much, and we lost our ability to punch back because we just were relying on this swagger that was not there for us this year in the beginning. And I think now, as games gone through and we've been punched so many times, that now we're starting to punch back. And I think that is the biggest growth that I've seen. And we're learning. We're learning every single day, and every day we're going to one day put 40 minutes together. But I think just our ability of weathering storms and understanding, yeah, these are great basketball players. They're going to go on runs. They're going to execute plays. But what can we do? How can we stop the bleeding and punch back? So I think I'm seeing that in my teammates and just in our mentality when we're entering games.
And then speaking of weather and storms, 3 game homestand right now, but just a wider lens, 8 home games in the next 10 or in 10 during this stretch. Is the locker room feeling like this is kind of the best opportunity for this team to kind of right some of those early season wrongs?
Um, we've always had the mentality of righting everybody's wrong since the beginning of the season. But we know how precious our games are here at home, and we're going to try to capitalize that on as much as possible. It's not going to be easy, but I think as a team and as a collective, we all have the mindset of, we're playing playoff basketball right now. The playoffs, when it's postseason, that's too late to think about, oh, we're in playoffs. So we're playing our playoff basketball now to just get us tuned up and ready for what's to come. But we're just going to continue to control what we can control and just make sure that we're in control of our own destiny.
It's Jasmine from Her Game Network. I know, just piggyback on Jackie. I know you last season you talked about having your wanting to have a better two-man game with Jackie. How are you feeling now going into the second half of the season?
It was great. I feel like because we've played alongside each other for so long. What is it, 7 years? No, I love playing alongside you. 7 years, you got to form some type of trust. And I think it's developing in the right way at the right time, and it's really one of those situations where you got to pick your poison. And now we're starting to even develop just the language of on the court of, maybe we don't even have to use words. We're just understanding how to get each other to their spots so they can execute and play the best basketball and get our teammates involved. So I think, yes, it is starting to help as we're getting in more two actions to keep the defense honest. But yeah, it's about damn time. It took us 7 years to kind of get this going. Good job,
That's
Jeff.
probably my fault, y'all.
It is.
As Carly mentioned to start us off, first 30-20 game in league history. What does something like that mean to you?
It's huge. Actually, Caroline was telling me that walking here. I didn't even know because, as many greats as we have in this league, that's kind of a shocker that it's just not happening now. But, it's a blessing. I love what I do. I love what I do. I love it so much. So anytime that I could come out and just play the basketball the way that I love it and the team and we're all getting involved, I'm happy with that. So it's pretty cool to have my name in the record books when it comes to that. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a lot following up. So, yeah, it's pretty cool to kind of be the first one.
Connecticut was very physical tonight, and playing a physical team like that, what's the talk in the locker room? Because you guys kept pretty calm and collected tonight.
Yeah, the biggest thing was be physical back. That's the pretty much thing of the way this W's going right now. It's just like who's going to be the bully, and the bully sometimes wins. So for us, we had to make sure that we weren't going to just get punched all night. We got to sometimes just set the tone and understand and know how to weather those storms. But it is a lot of physicality, and we're trying to still get things going. Still understanding that we can trust our system to get us to exactly where we need to be. Yeah. See you, Jay.
Thought you covered it all. Thought we were good to go.
Hi, Jackie. Coach said prior to tonight that you've been elevating your game in a different way, that you've been getting better and better. Do you feel that? And if so, what are you going to do to make sure you continue to do just that?
Yeah, I think, just stay in the gym, keep working hard, watch some film, I mean, each night they're showing different coverages with me, and so sometimes they'll blitz it, sometimes they'll hedge it, sometimes they'll be in a drop. It just depends. So just coming off trying to make the right read, and then just getting my teammates involved, whether I'm coming off and I have the pocket to I have my own, or I have my teammates on the weak side, and so yeah, I mean, just trying to get better game by game.
Jackie, there have been some top reserves in this organization since you've come into the league, but predominantly we've seen them be either three, mainly fours, right? You're the 6 players of the year. Outside the year, Kelsey won it. Dana, when she comes into the game and you're on the floor with her, what sort of comfort zone does she put you in, knowing what she's capable of, and how do you sometimes sit back and watch what she does and marvel at it?
Yeah, Dana is a great player. Whenever she comes in, the game changes, and I think it starts with her defense. She's picking them up full court and really pressuring them. So that helps us whenever they're taking time off the shot clock to get into their sets. And so it kind of starts with her on the defensive end whenever she's amped up and guarding them with a lot of physicality, and then we match that same intensity. And then at the same time, she can go get a bucket too. And so it's cool to just see her come in and have an impact on the game every time she checks in.
Anyone in the room before we go to Zoom? All right, Andrew on Zoom. Andrew.
Thanks, Caroline, Carly, for that. Jackie, just want to ask you, just seeing Asia have the first 30-20 game in WNBA history, and doing that against rebounders like a legend like Tina, Nelson Adoa, Edwards, and Morrow, you just talk about how we know Asia's amazing, but how she just continues to reset a new bar.
Yeah, I mean, every night she shows up, and I think that's why, she's so great at what she does. She shows up on both ends for us, and having 32 and 20 is crazy. Like you said, it's the first one in league history, but I think it just shows how much work she puts in every night. I mean, she's a super hard worker, and so it's cool to see her hard work pay off. And at the same time, they're bringing double teams to her, triple teams to her, and she's having to navigate that and play out of that. And she's still able to put up insane numbers every night.
Thank you.
Jordan on Zoom. Jordan.
Hey Jackie, Jordan from Television Sports. Congrats on the win and for becoming third all-time in assists in franchise history. So if you guys are stacking up wins, and yet it still feels like you have yet to play a complete game for all 4 quarters, do you think that makes you guys a dangerous team heading into the playoffs, knowing that you haven't had a full complete game just yet?
Yeah, we're just trying to stack some wins, heading into this last part of the season. And I think the biggest thing is, trying to put together a full 40. Like you said, we haven't done that yet. We're getting close. But I think, just execute on the defensive end because we know we can score the ball. But I think taking care of business on defense is the biggest thing for us. And once we do that, we'll be able to put together a full 40.
Jackie, it's been mentioned a few times that now the Aces have won 4 games in a row. They've also won 6 of our last 7. So naturally, I imagine the vibes in the locker room had to be at a pretty high point at this stage in the season. How does that feel now that you're heading into the final month of the regular season?
Yeah, it feels good, you know. It's been a kind of up and down season for us, you know, but the vibes are good, you know. Everybody's coming in with a lot of energy, excitement, and just, you know, ready to play. And so I think it's been showing, you know, with the wins that we've been getting. And then just, you know, the attention to detail. You guys know that we've been doing some of the scout now. And so I think that's just had us a little bit more locked in, you know. But yeah, I mean, I think just being locked in this last half of the season, last month of the season, just finishing on a high note.